Last week, I was part of a brand new world record. I mean, it's not quite as good as it sounds. I didn't really do that much, but let's do it, and let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. Guys, first things first, I'd like to warmly welcome you all to the channel. And second thing second, I'd just like to explain that I did a very minimal amount towards what happened in this video. And I'd like to apologise for my appearance. I've not really been out of the house in the last kind of month. Well, I went to work to pick something up once, but I can't get a haircut, and yeah, just quarantine life. You see, last week I was a part of the world's biggest golf lesson. That included 578 coaches, it included 50,000 people taking a golf lesson at the same time, and it also helped raise over £10,000 for the NHS here in the UK, and also over $6,000 worldwide for different charities. So what an absolutely fantastic thing that was. Everyone who took part, massive thank you on pretty much everyone's behalf. You see, really, and there's too many people to kind of say it was so-and-so's idea or it was because of so-and-so. So what I've done is I've asked for a list of everyone who kind of put this together. So that's running along the bottom of the screen now. Massive well done to everybody down on the bottom of the screen now. You see, and people that took part, such as myself, Peter Finch, me and my golf, Liam from Golf Vlogs UK, he did a lesson with Danny Maud. It was absolutely fantastic, and I could try and name all the different tour pros, I could try and name all the different teachers, I could try and name everyone that did it, but there was 578 people, and this video is going to be long enough. You see, the video that I did and the lesson that I did was terrible. I may have even put in the title, we got a world record for the most terrible video, because you see, I've never done Instagram Live before. But I thought I had to take part in this, so I got Chris along, our resident short game and putting tour expert, and he gave me a bit of a lesson on Instagram Live, but really it turned into a little bit of a Q&A, which was fantastic, and that whole lesson will follow on. The world's biggest golf lesson took place on Instagram last week, or this week, depending when this video goes out. So there were 50,113 people who took part in this lesson, and there were over 200 hours of instruction. That's a long time. If you don't follow me on Instagram, that's up there now. And to be honest, it was our first time on Instagram Live, so maybe take it easy on us a little bit. But basically, this was the world's biggest golf lesson with over 50,000 people taking part. The previous biggest golf lesson, which is still, I think, the official Guinness World Record, is this one. I don't know what makes it official and what doesn't make it official. I don't know if you had to maybe kind of sign a few things at the beginning or whatever. But this is kind of an unofficial world record, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. So guys, the charity links are still running there in the description below. If you can donate, that's fantastic. If you can't donate, do not worry. I know that it seems everywhere we turn at the moment there are charity donations and links and running 5Ks and donating 5Ks. I've never run as many 5Ks in my life. And donated and things, but anyway, so guys, massive thank you for tuning in. The lesson is going to follow this. Like I said, first ever time on Instagram Live. Some quite good questions actually for the Q&A, so make sure you do enjoy it, and if you stay to the end, I might even show you the hair under the hat, so there's a bit of something there for you too. Let's take a look. Hello everybody, this is the first time I've ever done an Instagram Live, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm waiting for Chris to come on the line, and Chris is going to give me a bit of a putting lesson. So remember, this is part of a charity initiative, the world's biggest golf lesson. So make sure you do donate. There will be a link on my Instagram immediately after that. Even if you want to donate a quid, a dollar, 50p, whatever. The idea is that we're going to try and raise about £10,000 overall. So like I said, is Chris available yet? Let's find out. Somewhere he's here. Chris Dennis. Oh, I think Chris is coming on the line now. Guys, make sure you get your putting questions in as well, because we're going to do, he's here now. He's just setting up in the bedroom, I think. Look at him there. Christopher, how are you?
Very good, yourself. Just bear with me a second.
No problem, everyone. Bear with Chris. Like I said, guys, make sure you do get in your questions, because we're going to do this a little bit differently to other people. It is going to be more of a Q&A. So I'm going to stroke some puts and show you what I've got set up here in the living room, something that you can all kind of aspire to get, or you could just put on the floor, really. And then Chris is going to answer my questions, he's going to answer, I'm going to answer his, and then we're going to answer yours as well. So I'll just put this on the old tripod, the beauty of live. Right,
there we go.
Chris, are you there?
Here,
excellent. So Chris, how are you?
Very good, thanks.
Well?
Yourself?
Yeah, good. Let me just set this up again. A little bit different. We've got 41 people on, Chris, so a big audience. Everyone must be over watching other people's, but that's fine. As long as people donate a little bit to charity, and I get... Oh, that was very professional of you, Chris. So, Chris, I'm going to kick things off with a question to you.
Yeah.
I'm torn between two putters, okay? And I'm also torn between two screens here. One putter is a blade. One
Yes.
putter isn't a blade. It's more of a kind of mallet, as you can see there. So first of
Yep.
all, talk me through I mean, you know my stroke play better than anyone. Should I be using a blade? Should I be using a mallet? And then as well, I'm going to ask you another question about the length. And I've already asked you about this so many times, but you fire away, mate, and I'm going to hit some putts.
Yeah. Again, I think you putted well with the mallet putter. Obviously, you don't have a lot of arc in your stroke, so sometimes a mallet can be good
That was a
for
good
that.
start.
Again, it's all
Yep.
dependent on feel as well. Your numbers with a toe hang putter, so with the Titleist putter was pretty good. So again, guys, it's something you think about when you do putter fitting. A certain putter doesn't necessarily fit a certain arc. So people say if you've got a pretty straight back and straight through, you might go for a blade, for a mallet, sorry, but you can have a blade putter. So it's all dependent on yourself, depending on how you move and what you feel comfortable with. If you look confident over the ball, that's something that's going to obviously make you putt better simply just from feeling a bit more confident. Lengthwise,
Yeah, because you see, I used to look at that. I can't get through. I used to be really, really confident with exactly this kind of putter, this kind of blade style putter, where people can't even see my head. But when I'm 39, Chris, we've lost some. That's a nightmare, isn't it? Guys, if you are watching, don't be afraid to donate as well. This is live, so it's not usually we edit all the bad stuff out, Chris, don't we?
Yeah, that's true.
So go on, you were going to start talking to me about putter length.
Yeah, so length of putter again is something that I would suggest people look at. A lot of times when you go for fittings, a lot of people only have 34 inches or not many 35s or 33s. So definitely look into making sure the putter's long enough. I see too many people with shorter putters as opposed to a putter that's too long, which then again affects your posture, affects your stroke. So, I mean, for you, James, you are vertically challenged, so I would certainly be suggesting a 34 looks pretty good for you. So again, it looks natural. Your eyes are just inside the ball.
Yeah, and you see that's where this this kind of mirror that I'm using here can massively help me, because if my eyes are kind of too far over there, obviously the mirror tells me straight away, and I do find that helps massively with posture. So using things like this, even just when you're practicing at home, can help massively, can't they?
It certainly can, yeah. So it's something I've just seen somebody comment, we are still quarantined in the UK, so it's a case of it's great for at home, but it's also great for when we get back out. A putting mirror, a mat inside is something you can practice. So every time you practice, you're practicing the correct posture. So it's something I see most of the time is posture's not always correct or same every time with most amateurs. So it's a case of making sure that if you can practice with a mirror, make sure your eyes are in the right place, it'll make you a lot more consistent overall.
Yeah, let's have a look at people's comments, because I'm aware that I'm just stood there stroking putts.
And I can't see because my
can you
eyes
not?
are gone. I need my glasses.
Oh, you're miles away, aren't you? So let's have a look at a few people's comments. Let's see what we're getting in. Just got to put out, loving it. Are you guys still quarantined? Come on, guys, don't be shy. Get your questions in. How much difference does it make on the putter insert? So the putter insert I've got here, I'm not going to lie, it does feel soft. I'm a massive believer that kind of technology in putters, and Chris will kind of go with this, might feel slightly different. It might offer you slightly different visuals, but I think a putter's a putter at the end of the day, as long as it's the right, and I'll go over to Chris for this one, but right length, right loft, right lie, generally, Chris?
Yeah, so length, loft and lie, and then also...
It's the first time I've seen Chris's face. You've caught a bit of sun there, mate, today.
Oh, don't mess about. Been in the garden, cutting the grass again.
Excellent.
For the 9th time today. So yeah, so it's something that face inserts are going to have different. The ping ones that they've brought out this year have got a more solid face, so the ball comes off a little bit quicker. Last year's were really soft.
Yeah.
So it's again game one that feels good for you, because it will make a difference on putts. If it's a firm face or soft. So it's something that you want to be comfortable with. But I wouldn't suggest changing in between, because especially if you're changing putter regularly and you're changing different faces, you're never really going to be consistent. It's going to be very hard.
Yeah, and I know. So we actually did a video on that, didn't we? We kind of thought our ping going backwards was the big catchphrase for that video, and it's not really. A hard putter face isn't necessarily better than a soft putter face. And people think about golf balls, don't they? Is a soft golf ball better than a hard golf ball? It depends what you want it to do at the end of the day.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it. So it's whatever feels good for you. You know, it's the same as, like you say, a golf ball. Some people like the feel of a soft golf ball, some like a firm golf ball. It's all dependent on yourself, but you wouldn't change between the two probably in a round because it'd be totally different.
Depends how many you've lost, mate, doesn't it, really, I think. But I've seen someone there, would you rather insert or no insert? That was from Miller Garrett. I'm always personally no insert, which is strange. So I've got two putters here that I've brought down just to use, and they both have inserts in them. But I'd always be, you know, if you can get a putter that's just a nice milled face, that would be kind of the dream for me. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I prefer something with an insert. I mean, the Scotty I've got.
Hi, Wally Park Golf Club.
The prototype has a soft insert, and again, my Odyssey Rossi also has. Well, it's a softer face. It's one of the older ones, so I prefer a putter with. It's a little bit softer. The milled faces I find I'm not as consistent with, so it's just something I've never really gone to.
White Hot Rossi, that was the one, mate, wasn't it? I'm going to hit some more putts because this is just staring at me in the face. So I'll go with this one. Who else has got questions? So we're looking, do you think golf courses, I really wouldn't want to comment on that. That's something which, similar to politics, I'm kind of staying well away from because personally I just can't, I'll tell you what, I just can't. Chris, why do all my putts go right there? So they're setting up, and this, so we're back on the kind of putting lesson now, but they set off online, be it with one hand or two hands, and then watch it kind of, is it the floor? That'll go towards the right hand side of the put out. Is that just an uneven floor, or?
Yeah, so it's just.
Tell me it is.
Well, you can blame that, yeah, but it's just a case of so there's a little bit of a loop in a stroke, and again, you still have that tendency to go out to the right.
There's a what?
So
There's a little
that's
bit
just
of a what,
starting
sorry?
the balls. Just a bit of a loop-de-loop. It's like a figure of eight.
Like that?
Yeah.
So you're saying that I'm basically coming across it, which is making it roll a tiny bit.
Yeah, so you're
to the right,
slightly open as you come across it, yeah. So
if I try and almost
there's a question there about
bring it more in with a square face.
Let's have a look. Chris, have you any advice for me because I'm going to waterfront?
G-Mac Golf says the face is closed. I've got it square there though, Graham.
It's all over the place, Graham, to be honest. It's probably had a few beers.
But look how... but that, that is very consistent though, isn't it? Not just my beer drinking, but every time that goes, it like sets off... Oh, there we go. That's a pull.
We've got something from...
how much...
He's going to Waterfront Sixth Form. So, yep, great to have you on the programme there. Again, the Sixth Form and the college...
Programme? It's a programme now.
Work together with us. So, we're actually doing some renovations at Waterfront in the next couple of weeks. So, we will have some changes up there. So, Frank's working hard to get everything ready for next year. So, we're looking forward to it. We're just hoping we get the students back before they go and play in the summer. So, we'll see. Hopefully it's open sooner rather than later, but we'll wait for any news.
That's an interesting one. Metal Golfers. How's the Jumbo? I personally think it probably has. It's one of those where people saw quick improvement with it, and then I don't know. It's almost like a honeymoon. Look at that go right there. It's almost like a honeymoon period.
Yeah.
And that when that wears off.
I find with the Jumbo grips, it was more of, it wasn't explained maybe enough. So a lot of times they say, get a Jumbo grip to take your hands out of the stroke. Obviously, we want to have a little bit of wrist release in a putting stroke. So there is going to be, finally, well done. Congratulations. There is going to be some giving to this. So again, it's a case of grip. People worked for a little bit, but then you start to lose control, lose feel, and you end up with a more thinner grips. There are still some thicker grips, but they're certainly not as big.
And interestingly, because I've had Super Stroke now kind of since they were popular, but then you probably saw a video where I re-grip my putter at home and I put this nice thin Scotty Cameron grip on it, and I've really, really enjoyed that. That's kind of brought me back to, not junior days, because that's a long time ago and I can't remember that, but it's definitely brought me back to a feeling of confidence. And I almost feel like I can manipulate the putter a little bit more, Chris, with that thinner grip. Does that make sense? I can release it a bit more.
Yeah, so you have again. Yeah, so you have more feel. So you're not strangling the putter as much. It's a little bit more in control in your hands. So again, you'll have more ability to release the putter as opposed to feeling like you have to try and hit the putt. So you're letting the putter stroke as opposed to and swing, as opposed to trying to hit that ball, accelerate and drive it towards the hole.
Aaron Saykan says, thoughts on the Phantom range? I love the look of them, and I know Chris likes the look of them as well, the kind of black and limey green finish. But for me, they feel a little bit hard off the face, and the sound is a little bit more tinny than what I would like for a putter. So if I was going to go Scotty Cameron, well, I'm using one at the moment, but if I was going to go current Scotty Cameron, it would be the Special Select range because they sound that little bit better for me, personally.
Lewis has commented, Chris loves a few beers.
What's Lewis said?
I don't know what you're talking about. He's a lunatic.
He doesn't love a few, he loves a lot.
Right,
how important, this is GMAC, how important is face balance to toe flow? That's one for Chris, that.
So again, it all depends on your motion. So again, people think, if I go for a fitting, the only thing I'm really looking at is either a toe flow or a face balance. So it might be something that, it's all dependent on how you feel. I've seen people have a straight motion, pretty much a straight arc, not much arc, and they use a toe hang putter. So it still has a little bit of rotation. And again, the face balance is still going to have some rotation as well. So it's very much down to feel. Face balance putters are normally a little bit bigger. The more mallets. I know Odyssey do the double wide. So you can get them smaller. You can get some blades with a face balance, but it's a different feel totally. So especially when you go for fittings, don't just get told you need this one or this one. Try them out. Try and get some numbers and get a feel for it, because it's very hard inside to just literally go, oh yeah, that one felt a little bit better. You want some numbers to show that it's making a difference, because if you set on a blade, a blade could be the one that suits you, but people might say, oh, you need to go into a face balance just because you're a higher handicap. That's not the case.
So Luke Winterburn says, if you were to give one bit of advice to a junior golfer, what would it be? I'll go with general advice, and I'll go with just try and enjoy it. Don't see it as a job too much. I know a lot of juniors, if they want to progress to be very, very good, you almost take the fun out of it straight away. So try and enjoy as much as you can. Chris, do you want to give Luke one putting tip if you could for a junior?
Yes. So putting, again, when you're doing putting, Luke, don't hit the same putt over and over again. So what I see from a lot of people is you'll hit a putt. If you miss that putt, you hit it over and over again. If you miss the putt, move on and try a different one. Okay, so don't repeat the same things and try and change your motion. So vary your practice, hit different shots. James likes to do over and over again and hit 1,000 putts, but make sure you don't hit the same one again. Move around the hole, and again, just have fun challenges. Enjoy yourself while you're on the putting green. Hit to different holes, different distances.
Yeah, I think the enjoyment factor is the biggest thing there that we both touched on, isn't it? Should a beginning golfer buy a box set or decent clubs? It depends on your budget. Obviously, you are going to get better clubs for a decent budget. If you're properly starting out and you're not sure if it is going to be for you, then the cheapest golf clubs you can get, absolutely, and then take it from there. Chris, what's your favourite moment working at Waterfront Golf? From Aidan. I take it this is a private joke.
Favourite point from working at Waterfront Golf? Well, I mean, the highlights we've had is me and Danny take on the Scholars on a regular Friday, and we're yet to be beaten. So that's probably the highlight of. Danny does play a lot, and I don't play much, but we've gone unbeaten so far. So that's probably the highlight of working there. To be fair,
highlight of working there. Do you recommend Callaway triple track putter? Now I've potentially started to use the two. I mean, I'm sat here with two putters already, and the two ball triple track is the kind of third option. How many options of putter you've got, Chris? Because I've got quite a few. But I do recommend it. I like it. I don't think it's as revolutionary as some people make out. I still think it's just some lines on a putter. And I definitely think there is a little bit of a sales ploy in there to sell more triple track golf balls. That's just my personal opinion. Chris, anything to say on the triple tracks?
Oh.
Hello?
Yo. I'm still here.
Sorry, did we lose you for a second there?
Yeah, I think I just went, I don't know what happened. But yeah, so the triple track, I mean, the good putters, they can help you. They can help you slightly, but, it all depends on luck. Some people don't like looking down on that. You then have to get the Callaway ball, potentially. Do you like the Callaway ball? So I wouldn't say it's going to drastically improve you. If you're going to spend that money, you've got the ones that aren't triple track, the same. So see what suits your eye more than anything, because if something suits you and you feel confident with it, you're more than likely going to putt better than something you've just bought to try and be, let's say, a gimmick. It's going to work because they've told me it's going to work.
Yeah. I'm a 21 handicap. What putters do you recommend? Just got to try them, mate. I don't think we can. I very much struggle with recommending anything based on a handicap, because you might be a 21 handicap because you can't hit a fairway. You might actually have a really good putting stroke and a really consistent one. On the same hand, you might be a 21 handicap because you put like me and you're just not very good. So then it comes down to obviously levels of practice rather than just recommending a putter. I know Chris will back that up as well, 100%. Here's one, Tyler. Chris, what's your favourite putting drill?
Favourite putting drill is probably the most simple one, which is 2 tees either side of the putter head. So again, if I have my putter here, 2 tees here.
So similar to that?
Yeah, pretty much. So you're basically working on your stroke, because I find if it goes in, everyone starts to slow down the rhythm, the tempo becomes better, and you start to hit the centre of the face. So it's a simple one. It doesn't cost anything because you've got 2 tees, or you can find 2 tees, but you can put them either side of the putter head.
We could use anything. You could use.
Yeah, if you're at home, you can put 2 mugs, 2 coffee mugs, 2 beer glasses in James's case, maybe next.
The world is your oyster, really, Chris. You would say with that drill, wouldn't you? You could use anything. 2 beer cans, 2 beer bottles,
2 beer bottles, wine bottles. Yeah, so pretty
right.
much.
So we're going to take one more because this was supposed to be 20 minutes. Paul. Not really a question, but can you explain to me what we need to look for when trying to read the grain? This is a fantastic one because I've got no idea. And Chris, you've carried on tour, so you must have encountered it somewhere.
Yeah, so in the Middle East, there's a lot of grain. In Europe as well. I haven't seen much in the UK, but Australia, there's a lot of grain. But basically, what you want to do is if you go to the hole, if you're seeing light, it's down grain. If you see the dark, it's into grain. But if you go to the hole, you can see if it's coming from the light or if it's coming from the left or the right. So if you look in the hole, you'll be able to see where it's coming in and then when it's working away from the hole. So you can start to see where that is. It can have a big effect. I would say it has more effect probably into grain. So look inside the hole and see where you can see that grass is entering and where it's exiting on the other side of the hole.
Perfect. Well, I think we're going to call it there, guys. That's 20 minutes. That was for the world's biggest golf lesson in aid of the NHS charities. So I will put on my story now a link to that if you want to go and donate. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. If you can't donate, do not worry, not a problem. We hope you've picked up a few little bits there. Make sure you go and follow Chris as well on his Instagram and his new YouTube channel because he's you're doing quite well with that, mate, aren't you?
Steady away so far.
Miko's just logged on, I think, has he?
Oh.
Can you believe he's had nothing to do for a week and he's only just logged on? He's too busy walking around the marina, I think, mate, to be fair. Anyway, guys, make sure you go and check out Chris. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you can donate, that will be fantastic. If you can't, don't worry. Hope you all stay safe and hope we all get golfing again soon. Cheers, Chris.
Yep. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining.
And so, guys, there you have it. Now, if you have lasted this long, I'm amazed, actually. I'm very, very amazed because the lesson, obviously, it wasn't my best work. It was a live lesson and a live Q&A. It did make a few putts as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Massive thanks to Chris for taking the time out to help us with that as well. He's a fantastic coach, and if anyone does want any short game lessons around the Yorkshire area, then get in touch with him. And also, massive well done, because that's what this video has been about, to the guys at the world's biggest golf lesson. It was a fantastic, resounding success, raising over £10,000 for the NHS, and like I said, more money for different worldwide charities as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you do smash that subscribe button below. Leave us a like if you enjoyed that. If you didn't enjoy it, then well, it was for a good cause anyway, so just like it anyway, maybe. And apart from that, I really look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. So I'll show you the hair, didn't I? See you tomorrow.